Chinese President Xi Jinping has called for the establishment of a world body to govern artificial intelligence. That at a gathering of leaders on Saturday at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in South Korea. APEC is a forum for 21 Pacific Rim economies, including China, Japan, and Indonesia. The organization also includes the U.S., but President Donald Trump did not attend. A joint statement adopted by leaders after the summit promoted the AI idea and called for a resilient global trade environment with, quote, benefits for all. Let's bring in our Asia-Pacific Bureau Chief Georg Mattes, who's following the summit in Busan for us. Georg, as we mentioned, the Chinese president has proposed the creation of a global body to govern artificial intelligence. What more can you tell us?
That's right. It's an AI cooperation organization that could be headquartered in Shanghai. This really goes in line with what President Xi has proposed a number of times now, to become the host, that China becomes the host and becomes the leader for multilateral international organizations. Only recently, an organization for mediation was inaugurated in China with 37 signatories. So China really making here an effort to reach out to find international multilateral solutions to topics. And that goes very much against what we have seen from the U.S. representatives here at APEC, who was rather emphasizing a national regulation on AI. And when you look at the Chinese proposal, this was welcomed by a number of states, including the host of Korea, where the leader, President Lee, said basically he would also envisage that a mutual solution can be found that unfolds the potentials of AI as a shared good for a number of countries. So I would say not a technological proposal from the Chinese leader, but rather a geopolitical move.
The summit closes with a meeting on the sidelines between the presidents of China and South Korea. What do we expect from this?
Well, here, of course, we have to understand that Korea really stands here, it's walking a tightrope. Yeah, on the one hand, they have China, close economic relations, interdependence with China. On the other hand, they have a geopolitical, strategic, close relationship with the United States. And that very much will play a role in those talks. On the agenda, supply chains, is the economy, but is also regional security. And that's where a denuclearization with the North will be a topic. Now, one has to see that China still is the economic lifeline of North Korea. It is also the diplomatic shield of North Korea. And so it is an important player here in the game, where the new government here in South Korea is trying to get the talks with the North going again on more friendly terms. And for those, for progress on those negotiations with the North, they will need China in the boat.
Georg, I'm curious, your perspective as the curtains close on APEC 2025. Has the summit delivered meaningful progress, or were the outcomes more or less symbolic?
I'd say if you judge it from the mutual declaration that was published, it is fairly broad and it is fairly symbolic. That I would say it's still important that leaders meet. It's still important that in difficult economic times, you have an effort to find multilateral solutions to supply chain problems at times when many countries like the United States and Europe is trying to diversify their supply chains. So that is a fair effort. But what the outcome on paper is fairly symbolic, and that also is true, I would say, for the key meeting between Trump and Xi on the sidelines of this APEC summit. Yes, they have addressed a number of issues. Yes, they have paused their trade war, but have they really found a resolution for that trade war that is affecting so many economies around the world, and particularly in East and Southeast Asia? That, I think, has not been the case. So they basically kicked down the road.
Our thanks, as always, to Georg Mattes in Busan.